My singular gift for observation and deduction may have come from my grandmother, who was a sister of Vernet, the French artist. Your art in the blood is liable to take the strangest forms. For example, my brother Mycroft.
Your brother? I didn't know you had a brother.
Oh, yes. And I can assure you that he possesses a far greater faculty for observation and deduction than I do.
Holmes, I know that you are a modest man.
My dear Watson, I cannot agree with those that rank modesty among the virtues. To the logician, everything should be seen exactly as it is. And to underestimate oneself is as much a departure from the truth as to exaggerate one's own ability. What I have just told you about my brother is the exact and literal truth.
Well, naturally, I don't doubt your word. But if there is another man in England with such singular powers, how is it that neither the police nor the public have ever heard of him, let alone myself?
He is very well known in his own circles.
Where, then?
The Diogenes Club. It is the oddest club in London, and my brother one of the oddest men. I suppose you wish to meet him.
Well, of course I do. Even if it's just to prove that he exists.
Then you shall. This afternoon. He has come across the most singular problem, which he thinks might interest me.
But why does Mycroft not use his great powers for detective work?
If the art of the detective began and ended in reasoning from an armchair, my brother would be the greatest criminal agent that ever lived. What is to me a means of livelihood is to him the merest hobby of a dilettante. But he has no ambition and no energy.
What is his profession, then?
He has an extraordinary faculty for figures. He audits the books for some of the government departments.
But what are the qualifications for the Diogenes Club?
Shyness and misanthropy. My brother is one of the founder members. It contains the most unsociable and unclubbable men in town who speak not a word and shun even the merest glance. Now, let us enter.
Yes, but
Not a word.
Holmes, have you...
We can talk in here.
Well, thank goodness.
Look at those two men, Sherlock. What do you make of them?
The billiard marker and the other.
Precisely. What do you make of the other?
An old soldier, I perceive.
And very recently discharged.
Served in India, I see.
And a non-commissioned officer.
Royal Artillery, I fancy.
And a widower.
With a child.
Children, my dear boy. Children. Mycroft Holmes. Glad to meet you, Dr. Watson. I hear of Sherlock everywhere since you became a chronicler.
Well, thank you.
For anyone who wishes to study mankind, this is the spot.
But surely you were taking things a little too far just now.
It is not hard to say, Watson, that a man of that bearing and expression of authority and sun-baked skin as a soldier is more than a private, and is not long from India.
That is not long since left the service as shown by his still wearing his ammunition boots, as they call.
He has not the cavalry's stride. Yet he wore his hat on one side, as is shown by the lighter skin on one side of his brow. His weight is against him being a sapper. He is in the artillery.
Then, of course, his complete mourning shows that he's lost someone very dear. The fact that he's doing his own shopping looks as though it was his wife. He's been buying things for children, you see. There is a rattle, which shows that one of them is very, very young. The fact that he has a picture book under his arm shows there is another child. Ah, Mr. Melas.